This is the L2C Media Network. Live from the Fred McLeod Sports Desk in the Tom O'Neill Memorial Studios here in Jackson. This is Steve Sporty Balls, presented by the L2C Media Network. And now, straight from Gilligan's Island, here's our little buddy, Steve the Baxman Baxley. Oh, hi. How are you, folks? Just gonna twiddle this here. Hey. Evening, all. There we go. Evening, everybody. Wow. There. Evening, all. How you doing? Good evening. Welcome to the broadcast. And if we can just... There we go. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another little edition of Steve Sporty Balls here on a beautiful little piece of paradise we like to call our little studio. Yes, friends, we're here, you're here, and we can't wait to do this broadcast. I know I can't. So let's get to it, folks. We got a lot for you tonight, and it's all going to be cooking right here on Steve Sporty Balls. Let's get to the meat of the issue, and we always present it with Major League Baseball and Minor League Baseball. That's right, it's baller night, as always. It is Tuesday night, baller night. We got 4 games going on as we speak. If we can get rid of the commercial block, there we go. And as we do, my God, I feel like a floating head. Anyway, we welcome you. Oh, I've already done that. And of course, we remind you that our scoreboard is presented to you by Caesars Sportsbook and Casino. Remember, we are all Caesars, but even Caesars know their limits. And yes, friends, we even know our limits. And hopefully so do you. If you don't know your limits, or if you need some help to sort of cure you of whatever ails you in the gambling world, then call the folks at the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-522-4700. That's 1-800-522-4700. And with that said, let's get going. All right. We are going to get going by gum, by golly, by Jesus. And we begin with the lesser of 4 games. Let's go to it. End of the 4th inning, it is the Los Angeles Dodgers over the Arizona Diamondbacks 8-2. Top of the 6th inning, we got a 2-1 lead by the Oakland Athletics over the Minnesota Twins. Top of the 8th inning, it is, yes. Top of the 8th inning, the Giants are nailing the Giants are nailing the Rockies 10-7. Bottom of the 8th inning, it's the I keep calling them the old name now. Now they're in a new name, and I might as well call them that. The Los Angeles Angels and the Texas Rangers are tied at 4 in the bottom of the 8th inning. All right, let's get some final scores, shall we? I think we shall. Okay, final scores. Chicago White Sox beat the Kansas City Royals 3-0, 3-5-0 for the Sox, 0-9-0 for the Royals. Winning pitcher was Cease for the White Sox. He's 4-1. Heasley gets a loss for the Royals. He's 0-2. And Hendricks wins his... Hendricks wins his 11th save of the season. And speaking of the Diamondbacks, and were we speaking of the Diamondbacks? Yes, we were. That was game two. That's game two. Game one of the Twilight Double Dip. The Dodgers beat the Diamondbacks 7-6. 7-9-1 for the Dodgers, 6-6-0 for the Diamondbacks. Winning pitcher was Bruhey. He's 1-1 for the Dodgers. Gilbert is 0-2. He got the loss, and for Diamondbacks, he's 0-2. And Kimbrel for the Dodgers gets his seventh save. New York Mets beat the San Luis Cardinals 3-1, 3-8-0 for the Mets, 1-6-1 for the Cards. Reed gets the win for the Mets. He's 1-0. Mikolas gets the loss for the Cards. He's 3-2, and Diaz gets his ninth save. Final score in 10 innings, the Cincinnati Reds beat the Cleveland Guardians 5-4, 5-9-0 for the Reds, 4-5-1 for the Guardians. Warren gets the win. He's 2-1 for the Reds. Sandlin gets the loss. He's 3-2 for the Guardians, and Diaz gets his first save of the season for the Reds. Well, we knew it wouldn't last long, and it didn't. Tampa Bay Rays defeated the Detroit Tigers 8-1, 8-11-1 for the Rays, 1-7-1 for Los Tigres. McClanahan gets the win for the Rays. He's 3-2. Brisky gets the loss. He's 0-3 for the Tigers. Florida Marlins over the Washington Nationals 5-1, 5-10-0 for the Marlins, 1-7-3 for the Nationals. Bender gets the win. He's 1-3 for the Marlins. Adon gets the loss. He's 1-7 for the Nationals. San Diego Padres beat the Philadelphia Phillies 3-0, 3-8-1 for the Pods, 0-5-1 for the Phils. Clevinger gave the San Diego Padres a big boost, and they got him the first win. Elfin gets the loss for the Phils. He's 1-3, and Rogers gets his 14th save for the Padres. Okay, in game number 2, you got to be kidding. Yep, game number 1, not game number 2, but in game number 1 of their Twilight Double Dip, it's the Cardinals over the Mets 4-3, 4-11-0 for the Cards, 3-5-0 for the Mets. Helsley gets the win for the Cards. He's 2-0. Rodriguez gets the loss for the Mets. He's 0-2, and Gallegos, order in the court. He won his seventh save of the season for the Cards. Yankees beat the Orioles 5-4. The downward swoon of the Orioles continues. 5-4 final score. 5-11-1 for the Yanks. 4-9-1 for the Warriors. Italian was the winner for the Yanks. He's 4-1. Tate gets the loss for the Warriors. He's 0-2, and Chapman gets his ninth save. Christine, the killer car, is back in action. Hey, stayed up to watch your show. How are you? I'm fine. You missed a good show last night. I did some karaoke. I might do it again tonight. Here we go. More fun than a barrel full of monkeys. Trout Blue. Excuse me for a moment. By the way, the Blue Jays beat the Mariners 3-0, 3-6-0 for the Jays, 0-6-0 for the Mariners. I got to check something before we continue here, so give me a moment or two. Okay, everything's good. Thank you. You want to turn on the light, guys? I know I shouldn't, but there we go. All right. Hi. Hey there. There, that's better. That's better. Now we got better light. Okay. Oh, you haven't missed too much. Blue Jays over the Mariners 3-0, 3-6-0 for the Jays, 0-6-0 for the Mariners. Berrios gets the win for the Jays. He's 3-2. Gilbert gets the loss for the Mariners. He's 4-2, and Kimber gets his third save. And speaking of double dips, the Royals won the first game of the Twinighter 2-1 over the White Sox, 2-8-0 for the Royals, 1-7-0 for the White Sox. Stinger with the win for the Royals. He's 1-0. Martin for the White Sox is 0-1 with a loss. And Stallman for the Royals gets his third save. Astros beat the White Sox. In fact, manhandled them is more like it. 13-4, 13-15-1 for the Astros, 4-13-2 for the Red Sox. Urquidy gets the win for the Stros. He's 3-1. Eovaldi gets a loss for the Red Sox. He's 1-2. Braves beat the Brewers 3-0, 3-6-1 for the Braves, 0-5-1 for the Brews. Davidson, the winner for the Braves, he's 1-0. Hauser gets the loss for the Brews, he's 3-4. And Jansen, his 9th save of the season. And finally, the Chicago Cubs beat the Pittsburgh Pirates in more ways than one. By the way, my car is totaled. Ugh. Boy, and that was a very nice car you had. So I hope I hope you are going to be getting a new car soon. Cubs beat the Pirates 7-0, 7-7-0 for the Cubs, 0-5-2 for the Pirates. Thompson, the winner for the Cubs, he's 3-0. Brubaker, the loser for the Pirates, he's 0-4. This had a big old mess. That's right, big old punch out occurred in that game, and we'll tell you more about it on our headline service. But right now, let's quickly go to the minor leagues. They were absent yesterday, which is why we did what we had to do, and that was vamp for a little time. I know I loved it. I'm hoping to get another mini. I hope you do too. Okay, AAA, we got some. AAA. Oh. Anyway, here we go. Top of the 8th inning, Reno leads Las Vegas 10-6. Middle of the 7th, it's Tacoma over Sacramento 8-3. Final score, Durham over Jacksonville 8-4, 8-7-1 for Durham, 4-8-0 for the Ville. Buffalo over Syracuse 9-3, 9-12-0 for Buffalo, 3-6-2 for the Qs. Indianapolis over Toledo 7-0, 7-11-0 for Indy, 0-2-0 for Toledo. Norfolk over Charlotte 4-1, 4-6-2 for Norfolk, 1-4-1 for Charlotte. Worcester over Sacramento, Wilkes-Barre 4-3, 4-14-2 for Worcester, 3-6-0 for Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. Lehigh Valley over Rochester 11-3, 11-12-1 for Lehigh, 5-8-1 for Rochester. Memphis over Gwinnett 8-2, 8-12-0 for Memphis, 2-8-2 for Gwinnett. Omaha over St. Paul 8-1, 8-9-0 for Omaha, 1-3-2 for St. Paul. Nashville over Louisville, another battle of the Villes. 4-3 final score, 4-9-1 for Nashville, 3-8-0 for Louisville. Columbus beat Iowa by a score of 9-3, 9-11-0 for Columbus, 3-9-1 for Iowa. Round Rock over Sugarland 5-2, 5-7-0 for Round Rock, 2-5-1 for Sugarland. Salt Lake over Albuquerque by a score of 3-1, 3-7-2 for Salt Lake, 1-4-0 for Albuquerque. Oklahoma City over El Paso, 13-5, 13-16-0 for Oklahoma City, 5-12-3 for El Paso. And there went AAA. Let's get you over to AA. And after that, we'll get into a little karaoke. AA action, everything is a final. New Hampshire slammed Erie by a score of 13-3, 13-18-0 for New Hampshire, 3-4-0 for Erie. Akron over Binghamton, 5-2, 5-8-2 for Akron, 2-8-0 for Binghamton. Frisco over Corpus Christi, 13-7, 13-11-0 for Frisco, 7-9-2 for Corpus Christi. Tulsa over Amarillo, 15-12, 15-17-0 for Tulsa, 12-15-1 for Amarillo. Portland over Harrisburg, 6-2, 6-7-1 for Portland, 2-3-0 for Harrisburg. Altoona over Richmond, 12-2, 12-11-0 for Altoona, 2-8-2 for Richmond. Somerset over Reading by a score of 10-3, 10-14-0 for Somerset, 3-8-0 for Reading. Hartford over Bowie, 7-3, 7-12-0 for Hartford, 3-9-4 for Bowie. Rocket City over Birmingham, 6-5, 6-11-1 for Rocket City, 5-7-1 for Birmingham. Chattanooga over Tennessee, 9-8, 9-13-1 for Chattanooga, 8-8-1 for Tennessee. One of these nights, you and I should do a show together. I think we'd have a blast. I think so too. I was born in Amarillo. My hubby was born in Tulsa. Hey, that ain't bad. Okay. Arkansas. The Battle of Arkansas. Arkansas over Northwest Arkansas in 10 innings, 7-6, 7-10-1 for regular Arkansas, 6-12-0 for Northwest Arkansas. Biloxi over Mississippi by a score of 6-5, 6-12-1 for Biloxi, 5-13-2 for Mississippi. Wichita over Springfield, 11-9. 11-9, 11-17-0 for Wichita, 9-12-2 for Springfield. San Antonio over Midland, 5-2, 5-12-0 for San Antonio, 2-5-1 for Midland. Pensacola and Montgomery were postponed due to COVID-19. Oh boy, that's going to be freaked again, folks. Okay, time now for the high A, and that means we get to visit the Lugnuts again. Yay. Okay, but right now, some scores of games that are still going on. Vancouver leads the Tri-Cities in the bottom of the 7th, 4-0. 4-8-1 for Vancouver, 0-4-0 for Tri-Cities. Bowling Green over Greensboro by a score of 6-2, 6-6-2 for Bowling Green, 2-7-2 for Greensboro. Lansing Lugnuts took care of the Great Lakes Loons, 7-4, 7-6-1 for Lansing, 4-8-1 for Great Lakes. Spokane over Eugene in 10 innings, 1-0, 1-5-0 for Spokane, 0-3-3 for Eugene. Fort Wayne over West Michigan, 5-4, excuse me. 5-12-0 Fort Wayne, 4-10-0 for West Michigan. Wilmington over the Jersey Shore, 12-7, 12-11-1 for Wilmington, 7-6-2 for Jersey Shore. Winston-Salem over Asheville, 9-1, 9-10-1 for Winston-Salem, 1-4-3 for Asheville. You got Brooklyn over Hudson Valley, 5-3, 5-7-0 for Brooklyn, 3-6-2 for Hudson Valley. Quad Cities over Dayton by a score of 8-7, 8-9-1 for Quad Cities, 7-8-3 for Dayton. We got Greensville over Hickory by a score of 11-6, 11-14-2 for Greenville, 6-8-1 for Hickory. Aberdeen, Scotch be praised. Aberdeen over Rome by a score of 4-2, 4-8-0 for Aberdeen, 2-6-0 for Rome. Lake County over Cedar Rapids, 5-1, 5-7-0 for Lake County, 1-4-3 for Cedar Rapids. Peoria over Beloit, 5-2, 5-6-0 for Peoria, 2-7-1 for Beloit. Wisconsin over South Bend, 3-1, 3-6-1 for Wisconsin, 1-6-0 for South Bend. Hillsboro and Everett, they too were postponed due to COVID, and we're down to one last little baseball, little roundski. And that is with the single A, folks. Top of the 7th, Modesto and Stockton. Stockton leads Modesto by a score of 4-2. Top of the 5th inning, it's Inland Empire 9, San Jose 7. Final scores, Delmarva. Delmarva. That's right, Delmarva over Fredericksburg, 5-3, 5-7-2 for Delmarva, 3-8-1 for Fredericksburg. Fresno over Rancho Cucamonga, 8-7, 8-10-1 for Fresno, 7-10-2 for Rancho Cucamonga. In 11 innings, Clearwater beat Fort Myers by a score. By a score of 5-4. 5-7-1 for Clearwater, 4-5-1. Thank you. 4-5-1 for Fort Myers. Fayetteville over Kannapolis, 10-6, 10-11-1 for Fayetteville, 6-9-2 for Kannapolis. St. Lucie was in the sky with Tampa's Diamonds and beat them 4-3, 4-10-2 for St. Lucie, 3-5-2 for Tampa. Palm Beach over Bradenton, 4-0. 4-0 was the final score. 6-0 for oh boy, yeah, for Palm Beach, and 6-1 for the Bradenton Pirates. Lakeland over Jupiter, 8-5, 8-10-1 for Lakeland, 5-10-0 for Jupiter. All right, we got Lakeland over Jupiter, 8-5, 8-5, hey. 8-10-1 for Lakeland, 5-10-0 for Jupiter. Fort Myers over Clearwater in the first game, 5-4, 5-4-1 for Fort Myers, 4-8-4 for Clearwater. Lake Elsinore Visalia, 9-3, 9-9-1 for Lake Elsinore, 3-7-2 for Visalia. Down East over Carolina, 8-5, 8-9-0 for Down East, 5-10-5 for Carolina. Another final score, Charleston, made in Carolina, defeated Augusta by a score of 14-0 in the here we go. Do we have another one? Lynchburg over Salem, 11-4, 11-16-1. Salem 4, 5, and 3. Myrtle Beach over Columbus. This is. Anyway, there you go. Myrtle Beach 15. Oops, hi. Get back over there. Myrtle Beach. You got the cutest little Myrtle Beach. That's right. You do got the cutest little Myrtle Beach. Your name ain't Myrtle. Okay, so Myrtle Beach won. We're trying to ascertain the final score. And by the way, Nick Ricada, Minnesota's humble attorney, will be back on streaming tonight. Talk about what else? The big Watusi, the big brawl that took place. And we're trying to get back to the business at hand, you see. All right. Oh, boy. Okay, well, we've en masse et masse. And with the masse, we must masse. We must masse. Okay, we had just a few games left to do, and then we will get to some karaoke. Okay, well, whatever it was, but we're glad to be here. Anyway, it is time now for the ever elusive meow meow to get her tushy in here and we can go through the headlines. Yes. In fact, why don't we get to the headlines so we can make the other folks sweat a little bit? Yeah, that's a nice idea. All right. Tariq Cohen has sustained a big setback in his recovery. The former All-Pro running back and returner tore his Achilles during a recent workout, according to multiple outlets. The Bears, who drafted Cohen in the 14th and during a recent workout, according to multiple outlets. The Bears, who drafted Cohen in the 4th round, the 2017 NFL draft, released him with an injury designation in March. Cohen was hoping to return to the field this season after missing the entire 2021 campaign with knee injuries. Cohen amassed nearly 1,600 all-purpose yards during his rookie season. He blossomed into an all-pro performer in 2018, 71 passes, 725 yards, and 5 touchdowns, while rushing for over 444 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also led the NFL in punt return yardage when helping the Bears capture the DFC. Yep. While happily captured the NFC North Division crown, Cohen followed that up with a career-high 79-catch season in 2019. Wow. Okay, gotta get some coolness in this here. All right. Let's get on with it. Okay, we got believe it or not. Hey, Dandelion, how you doing? Major League Baseball on Tuesday announced that Orioles right-hander Matt Harvey has been suspended for 60 games for distribution of a banned substance. Wow. They're tough. Earlier this year, Harvey testified in the trial concerning former Los Angeles Angel employee Eric Ray, the role in which, let's see, in this suspension stems from Harvey's admission in court about his time with the Angels, thereby right there. Haha. Okay, now during the trial, Harvey acknowledged that he had been granted immunity in exchange for his testimony. At the time of the trial, an MLB official told TJ Quinn that Harvey could face league discipline for admitting to distributing opioids unless that is what really happened. So, as they say, stand by. That's all I got to say on that. Stand by. Mm. Hmm. All right. Well, I got a fan going on here. Okay. The 33-year-old Harvey is with the Orioles on a minor league contract. He appeared in 28 games for the Orioles last season, but has not been a reliable performer at the major leagues since 2018. And that is why things are so dangerous. Yes. Oh, boy. Hello. How you doing there? Great to see you. To see you, great. All right. We got... before we go to more headlines and everything else, it is time. Yes, friends, it is time. It is time. Yes, it is. For what, I have no idea. No, it's time for a little culture, folks. A little culture, and believe me, we all need it once in a while. So here we go again. We're going at it with a strong suppository right now. Just got to tell you, Nick Ricada, the humble Minnesota attorney, his topics tonight on Lost Blaming the Interwebs. 400,000 subscribers. Depth versus Herd Chance, and the meltdown of Ethan Ralph. And there you go. It is a little bit different. So what do we do now, kids? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Ooh, wow, wow, wow. Whew. All right. Let me get the right word up here. All right. What are we going to do tonight? Ah, here's one. A little bit of Fly Me to the Moon is coming up, headed your way. Our first little Sinatra little bit. So, hey, lamp it up. Fly me to the moon. Let me play amongst the stars. Let me see what spring is like on a Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Yes, karaoke sports night. That's what it is tonight. How are you? Let's see what I. Ooh, I think I can do this one. Let's do one here, shall we? Little Louis Armstrong. Yes, indeed. Must do this. Crunch Master. Whoa. Need a little crunch in your day? No, I don't need. I don't need to have a little crunch of the day. I like to have a big crunch of the day. Okay. Let's do a little Louis Armstrong, if we may. Oh, I'll have some fun. Here we go. Maybe I can do his voice. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I'll stop that right now. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, this dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah. Hey, that wasn't bad. Oh, that was painless. Okay. I might do a soliloquy for a moment. We got a lot to do, so let's get over to some news from the media world. Yes, a media world. Yes, and then we'll hit the headlines and do some little wrapping up. Mm. Mm. Okay, a little. Mm. Ah. Mm. Okay, and once again, good night, Dandelion Fluff. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's get to some media poundages here because we got about 3 stories there, and then get you a little NASCAR, and then we'll wrap it up with our international look, our international looky look at some sports, and then we'll say goodnight to y'all. Anyway, folks, if you think this is something, wait till you see tomorrow. I don't know what's up tomorrow, but it's going to be fun tomorrow, and we're prepared to make it all worthwhile. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think we may be having a little beef draw. Let's see if we can't bop it right here. Thank you, boys. All right. As you know, the spring/summer leagues are coming back. We've had the return of the United States Football League, not your granddaddy's USFL, and now the third attempt for the XFL. And I think this one's going to succeed because it's not owned by a wrestling impresario. It's not owned by Vince McMahon. It is owned lock, stock, and barrel by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And to prove it, oh, did he make a blockbuster move? We have a television home, not one, not two, but 3 TV homes. The Walt Disney Company and its sports subsidiary, ESPN, announced Tuesday that they have reached an exclusive multi-year contract to broadcast the XFL regular season and playoff games. This third round, or as we like to call it, XFL 2.0, which is now owned by a group that includes Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, will kick off its season Saturday, February 18th in 2023 with 8 teams. The regular season will consist of 40 total games, followed by 2 semifinal playoff games and the championship game. Now, while it's presumed that a majority of the games will be shown on ESPN platforms, including ESPN and ESPN2, and obviously ESPN Plus, the deal also calls for games to be broadcast on ABC and FX. Additionally, Disney has granted exclusive content rights across Disney ESPN digital, social, and direct consumer outlets such as ESPN Plus. Global rights for Disney and ESPN are also part of the agreement. The league announced the 8 head coaches who will lead their teams in 2023, including Bob Stoops, Jim Haslett, Wade Phillips, Hines Ward, and Rod Woodson. Details surrounding the names, cities, and game locations have yet to be revealed. Will the third time be the charm for the XFL? Well, it does remain to be seen. The initial version introduced the pro football world to some broadcasting innovations still in use today, but was an abject failure in most other ways. The second version in 2020 showed promise, though people forget the ratings were in free fall, but was cut short midway through its first and only season due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Afterward, Johnson, Danny Garcia, and Redbird Capital purchased the Tui. Afterward, Dwayne Johnson, Danny Garcia, and Redbird Capital purchased the XFL from Vince McMahon for $15 million, presumably giving their relationship with Disney and ESPN, coupled with a budding relationship they have with the NFL. This version of the XFL is setting itself up for success. They also seem to have learned some valuable lessons from the graveyard of professional spring football leagues. Like, for example, instead of trying to compete with the NFL, this version appears happy to be a proving ground on their behalf and potentially a shadow minor league system of sorts. If spring football is ever going to find long term success, that does sound like the recipe to make it happen. The USFL might have been first out of the gate this year, but they already seem like an afterthought in the public consciousness. We'll see if XFL 3.0 has what it takes to maintain some semblance of relevance by the time their first season is completed. This broadcasting deal certainly bodes well in the meantime, and we happen to agree. Hee hee. Well, you can't please everybody, especially college football fans. Reason why coming up as soon as there we go. Thank you. Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, let's do it this way then. There we go. Like we said, you can't please everyone. And if we can't do this properly, Monday, Fox announced that their annual upfront presentation that they would be the broadcast home for Alabama versus Texas on September 10th. And well, we read about this likely back in March, as Fox had the first pick of the Big 12 games this year, and Texas hosting Alabama would likely be viewed as their top overall choice. Now, the reason this was newsworthy then and is that, as most media savage college football fans know, Fox airs their most prized game each week at noon Eastern. No ifs, ands, buts, or ors. Fans mostly hate. Where are we here? Thank you. No, that's. Fans mostly hate this for reasons let you we'll let you digest in a moment, but that hate is much more valid and ratcheted up for early season games where the possibilities of extreme weather are more of a factor. So while Fox didn't technically announce the noon Eastern Time kickoff yesterday, the fans were hoping to avoid. The confirmation of that reality seemed to come from a pair of Fox Sports college football personalities. like Joel Klatt and Matt Leinart. Ooh, shocking. And reactions were, as always, fast and furious. From Burnt Orange Nation at Del Conte, please use your once-in-a-lifetime veto with Fox if they put Bama in Texas at 11 a.m. TND said, Fox, please go rewatch the Texas-Maryland game that was an 11 a.m. kickoff. Total the amount of injuries due to the heat on both sides and rethink what time Texas versus Alabama should kick off at. Cassidy Kavanaugh, make Fox put the Texas-Alabama game at night. Sign the petition. Man, I can't talk, Nate. And this thing isn't going up. Boy, I think it needs a little computer Viagra. Well, you know the drill. But, as they say in this world, we don't have the story now. Okay. Let's see what we got. Despite the... Oh, hi. Thank you. Okay. Where are we here? Okay. Despite the Maryland game experiences of 2018, Fox is substantially more invested and excited about their big new concept now and is likely to remain unmoved by fan sentiment, administrator comments, weather delays, and injuries. At the end of the day, Fox rarely blinks or even really acknowledges growing public criticism, especially if they can make money. As long as that second half stays true, any petition or backlash will just continue to fall on deaf ears. Oy. All I got to say about them is buck up because, we start, the Wolverines and sometimes the Spartans start at high noon. So chin up, buck up, and, as they say, breathe. Okay, let's get back to more scores and, of course, more of our little gab fest here. Now, do we have... I don't think we got the NBA today. We might have some WNBA action for you. We're trying desperately to pop the scores here. So, let's see. Do we have any... Oh, yeah. We only had one playoff game tonight. And that was the Miami Heat beating the Boston Celtics by a score of 118 to 107 to take a 1-0 lead in their little action. Yahoo! And in the 2022 NBA Draft Lottery, which was about as interesting and exciting as watching paint dry. In fact, I think paint drying did beat them in the ratings. So, where did the ping pongs fall? And did they fall did they fall the Pistons' way? Nope, not this time. Let's give you some of the winners and losers here. Big loser, Jaden Ivey's number one pick chances. That's right, Gary Parrish and our friends over at CBSSports.com came to the conclusion that the number one pick would more so than in years past be decided based upon which team won the lottery. It's probably not great for Jaden Ivey's number one pick prospects. Orlando 15 2 years ago and Cole Anthony. Then they did it again with a top 10 pick last year and Jalen Suggs. It's hard to envision them doing it again, especially with the promise both these picks have shown. I wouldn't rule out Ivy out of the running, but the lottery order falling as it did was better news for the bigs at the top of the draft than a potential lead guard in Ivy just based on roster construction for Orlando. Now, one of the winners was the Thunder, an expedited reboot. This time last year during the lottery, Oklahoma City had a chance to come away with 2 top 5 picks and instead walked away with only 1 pick, number 6. But that pick turned into a foundational piece in Josh Giddey. And boy, oh boy, did this team's rebuild hit an accelerator Tuesday as they moved up to grab the number 2 pick. Loser, Portland Pacers, they both fall a spot. Meanwhile, The Pelicans are winners, living the best of both worlds. They get to see both things here. Losers, the Pistons, they were the anti-Kings on Tuesday as they fell more than any other lottery team. Based upon pre-lottery odds, their 14% chance of taking home the top pick was tied for best, but they walk away with the 5th overall pick instead. Oh, boy. They're fabulous options at number 5, so no fretting, Motor City, too much over this, but the difference between picking 1 and 5, heck, even number 4 and 5, is pretty substantial in the draft. Here's hoping this front office can identify a stud from a dud in the fifth pick of the first round. We can only hope. Okay, let us let's see. Lakers are asking coach candidates some key questions. And as we said, there was a melee in the Cubs-Pirates game. We'll do that, then we'll get you straight away with more balls. The matches cleared briefly and without incident during the 4th inning of Tuesday night's game between the Pirates and the Cubs. Drama began after Pirates designated hitter Daniel Vogelbach attempted to score from third base on a flyout off the bat of Yoshi Sutuzo. Cubs right fielder Seiya Suzuki made an accurate throw to the plate that beat Vogelbach by a fair margin. However, affording catcher Wilson Contreras ample time to attempt to apply a tag. Now, it's not clear what precisely happened next that caused temperature flare between Vogelbach and Contreras, a pair of former minor league teammates. There was some awkwardness throughout the sequence, though, with Contreras seemingly tagging Vogelbach in the face by accident. Vogelbach later flicked Contreras' long removed face mask down the third baseline as he was getting to his feet. At that point, the two bumped into one another and shared some words at close proximity. As mentioned, both benches cleared without incident from the brief confrontation. Vogelbach, it should be noted, was on third base after hitting the first triple of his career. He entered the night in the midst of a fantastic season as he had battled 252, 339, 476 with 6 home runs in his first 118 trips to the plate. Contreras, for his part, is having an even better season. Coming into Tuesday's game, he was hitting 283, 397, 509. Oh, would it be lovely, 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 lovely. Okay, so there you go on that. Okay. We have got one more thing, and that is our international. So let's get on the right track and get over to the Beeb. That's right. And what do we touch? Okay, thank you very much. And we go to the Premier League first. Liverpool over Southampton, 2-1. In the playoffs for championship soccer, it was Sheffield United over Nottingham Forest, 2-1. In aggregate, it was 3-3. So they did a little penalty kick, and Nottingham Forest won that one on penalties. French League One playoffs, Sochaux over Paris FC, 2-1. Thank you, Christine. Thank you for the compliment. You have a good night too, my friend. In the Australian A-League, Melbourne over Western United, 1-0. And in the Greek Super League, it was Olympiakos over Athens, 3-2. Salonika over Panathinaikos, 2-0. Eris over Giannina, 3-0. And that's it for a brief look at that. Let's now take you to one more little worldly place. And that is the world of stunned pickles. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, boom, 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 boom. All right. Mm. Ah. Mm. All right. Our final segment. Let's do it proud. In the Premier League, it was Liverpool over Southampton 2-1. In League One relegation, Sochaux over Paris FC 2-1. Italy Liga A playoffs, Tortona over Venezia 70-58. Virtus Bologna over Pesaro 70-51. Olympia Milano over Reggiana 91-65. In the NHL playoffs, 5 minutes into the first overtime, it is the first overtime, yes. Colorado and St. Louis still tied at 2. And in the World Championship of Hockey, here we go. Austria over Czech Republic 2-1. Denmark over Italy 2-1. Sweden over Great Britain 6-0. Switzerland over Kazakhstan 3-2. In Japanese baseball, in the Nippon Professional Baseball League, Chibalati Marines over the Rakuten Golden Eagles 6-3. Yokohama Bay Stars over the Chunichi Dragons 4-0. Orc Buffaloes over the Nippon Ham Fighters 3-0. Yakut Swallows over the Hanshin Tigers 2-1. Yomiuri Giants over the Hiroshima Carp 3-2. And the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks over the Cebu Lions 5-1. And right now, let's go to Major League Baseball and get you updated on the only 2 games that are left, not even on a final. That's right, and those are Oakland Athletics leading the Minnesota Twins 5-2 in the 8th, and also in the 8th inning, the Los Angeles Dodgers lead the Arizona Diamondbacks 11-2. In the Korean Baseball Organization, South Korea, Doosan Bears and SSG Landers ended in a 9-9 tie. Hanwha Eagles over the Samsung Lions 4-3. KT Wiz Swan over the LG Twins 3-2. Kia Tigers over the Lotte Giants 4-3. And Kaiwoom Heroes Kaiwoom Heroes over the NC Dinos 11-4. In cricket action, Sunrisers Hyderabad beat the Mumbai Indians by 3 runs, 193-190. In Test Series cricket, first innings, Bangladesh trailed by 73 runs with 7 wickets remaining in the first innings over Sri Lanka. So there you go. Right there in the nutshell and in the nutsack. So we are done. We are done for tonight. We are off time. I got to tell you, we're off time now. That's right. We made it. We made it to our closing time. And I got to tell you, thank you very much for always being here and always being supportive. Tomorrow, more of the same, including more karaoke stuff as I prepare to go forth and join Anthony for one of his Monday night streams. But until we meet again, I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. We'll talk to you Monday. Remember, keep them sporty balls full, hard, and sporting. Good night, everybody. Steve Baxley From the Fred McLeod Sports Desk here at the Tom O'Neill Memorial Studios. I'll see you tomorrow at 11:35. Good night.